Retirement was supposed to be the golden years of my life. After decades of hard work, serving my country, raising a family, and paying off every last cent of debt, I finally found the perfect home where I could breathe easy. A quaint little house on a peaceful street, where the morning sun spilled golden light across my front porch, where I could sip coffee without a worry in the world. My wife and I had searched for years for a place like this, something comfortable, something secure, a real home, not just a house. And for a while it was exactly that. But peace is fragile. It can be shattered in an instant by the unexpected. And in my case, it wasn't a storm, a fire, or even a break-in. It was something far stranger. Something I never imagined I'd have to deal with at my age. A woman, a complete stranger, who decided, without reason, without logic, that my home was hers. At first, it seemed like a simple misunderstanding, a mistake that would be corrected with a short conversation. But what started as confusion quickly twisted into a nightmare that threatened to take away the very sanctuary I had built for myself and my family. It began like any other ordinary day. I had just returned from the grocery store, my arms full of bags, when I noticed something odd, a large, unfamiliar SUV parked in my driveway. Now, I'm not one to jump to conclusions. People make mistakes. Maybe a contractor working on a neighbor's house had parked in the wrong spot. Maybe a delivery driver had misread an address. I didn't want to assume the worst. But something about the way that SUV sat there, bold and unmoving, as if it belonged, as if it had always belonged, sent a prickling unease down my spine. I set the bags down, wiped my hands on my jeans, and walked up to the driver's side. No one was inside. The engine was off, but the doors were locked. I checked my phone, no messages, no missed calls. My wife wasn't expecting guests. My kids, grown and living on their own, hadn't mentioned a visit. It was our home, our driveway, so whose car was this? And why was it here? That was the moment I should have trusted my gut. Because this was no mistake. It was the beginning of a battle I never thought I'd have to fight. I knocked on the door of my own house, which felt ridiculous. But I had to be sure. Maybe my wife had let someone in while I was gone. Maybe there was a simple explanation. But before I could even put my hand back down at my side, the front door creaked open, and there she stood. A woman, middle-aged, sharp-eyed, and standing in my doorway with the confidence of someone who owned the place. "Can I help you?" she asked, as if I was the intruder. I blinked, taking a step back to double-check that I hadn't accidentally walked up to the wrong house. Nope. The same wreath my wife had hung last fall, the same rocking chair I sat in every morning. This was my home. "I should be asking you that," I replied, keeping my voice steady. "You're parked in my driveway. And, oh well, you're in my house." She laughed, but there was no warmth in it. Just amusement, as if I had just told a joke only she understood. "No, this is my house. I bought it last month. Maybe you're the one who needs to check where you are." My stomach twisted into knots. "That's not possible," I said firmly. "We've lived here for years. I bought this house. I pay the bills. So, unless you can show me some kind of paperwork saying otherwise, I suggest you explain yourself." She crossed her arms, the smirk never leaving her face. "Oh, I don't have the paperwork with me. But I did buy this place. I just haven't moved in yet." I had never encountered a level of delusion like this in my life. I expected her to back down, to maybe admit she had the wrong address, but instead, she just stood there, calm, smug, and completely unmoved by the fact that she was trespassing. It wasn't just arrogance, it was conviction. And conviction is dangerous. My voice was sharper this time. "Listen, I don't know what kind of game you think you're playing, but I'm going to give you exactly 2 minutes to get out of my house and move your car before I call the police." Her smirk wavered. Just a little. But she didn't leave. Instead, she shook her head, clicked her tongue like I was the one being unreasonable. "You really don't know what's going on, do you?" she said, her tone almost pitying. "They must not have told you yet." "Told me what?" "That the house was sold." I stared at her, dead silent. This was beyond ridiculous. No bank, no real estate agency. No one had contacted us about any sale. And why would they? I own this house. Paid it off in full. There was no mortgage, no chance of foreclosure, no missing paperwork. You're lying, I said flatly. She shrugged. Then prove it. I pulled out my phone. She didn't flinch. She just folded her arms, standing in my doorway like a queen looking down at a commoner.
Call whoever you want, she said.
But this will all be sorted out soon enough. And that's when I realized she wasn't just here to trespass. She was here to take my home. By the time the police arrived, she had settled into my living room. She had her feet up, flipping through an old magazine like she had every right to be there. When the officer stepped inside, he looked between the two of us, clearly confused. All right, he said. Can someone explain what's going on here? She's in my house, I said immediately. I don't know her.
I didn't invite her in.
She's parked in my driveway and refusing to leave. The woman sighed dramatically. Officer, I own this house. I bought it. I don't know why this man is harassing me, but I'd really appreciate it if you could tell him to leave my property. The officer frowned. Ma'am, do you have any proof of ownership? Not on me, she said sweetly, but I can get it. I pulled out my phone and showed the officer everything, my deed, my property tax receipts, the emails from my real estate agent when we closed on the house years ago. The officer sighed. Okay, listen. I need documentation from both of you before I can make any official decision here. If you can both get your paperwork, we'll settle this. She smiled. Smug. Confident. Sounds good to me. Because she knew, if she stalled long enough, she might find a way to win. That night, I barely slept. My wife kept the curtains drawn, flinching at every sound outside. What if she came back? What if she wasn't alone next time? The thought of someone invading our home, a place meant to be safe, was a kind of violation I never expected to experience at my age. This wasn't just about property. It was about control, about power. And I refused to let someone take our home from us. And so, as the sun rose, I made a decision. She wanted to play games? She wanted to act like this was her home? Fine. Let's see how she liked losing.